Good morning. This was Uninvolved Living. Time for a end of summer, beginning of fall garden update. So right over here we have our blackberry bushes. They've seen better days. Of course, we've had 100+ degree days, and so a lot of this stuff is at the end of summer and is just ready for a break. Over here we tried a Three Sisters guild, but it didn't get enough sunlight. And so we've abandoned that idea. Over here, as you can see, the number of trees. During the wintertime, it gets plenty of light over here, but I underestimated the power of the trees over here and didn't really understand that at the time. And so we're going to make our way around here and go over here to the apple guild. The apple guild's done really well this year with the supporting plants. You can see we've got did lemon balm, lemon basil, strawberries, borage, echinacea. We had some Dutch white clover in here. There's some more echinacea over here. And as you can see, we've got some butterfly pea. And then what I've done is I succession planted tomatoes back, I think it was around mid to late June. So this is a Cherokee purple. He's growing pretty good. It's got some flowers on him. We come back over here. I've got another Cherokee purple over here. We've got roughly about 52 days until our first frost, but what'll happen is if we get a frost November 1st or before November 1st, then I'll just cover things, because Oklahoma, the weather is pretty mild pretty much all the way to December, so you can get a lot of growing time if you just cover the things that are sensitive to frost when this frost comes. And then we just kind of come around here to the main growing area. That's our sage plot, and then I did just various wildflowers. And then we've got another tomato plant that I started from seed. This triad of tomato plants is the bush steak hybrid. That's the variety bush steak hybrid. So those are a bush, which is an indeterminate tomato, so it's probably not going to get a whole lot taller than what you see there. And then we make our way down, just some more wildflowers that went to seed, and those are sprouting back up. And this is the Jerusalem artichokes. These are going to be ready to come out in about another month, maybe a couple of weeks. They're starting to look pretty sad overall. And then this is what I call the keyhole garden. It was in the shape of a keyhole, but back in the spring, all this was just covered in lettuce and dill and things like that. And so what I've done now is, back in June, because this area gets some shade from that super hot afternoon sun, so I succession planted another bush steak hybrid, and then just some regular green bell pepper plants is what we did there. And then we're going to kind of spin back around this way, and this is just, I put in some long bush type beans, 52-day beans that'll grow really fast. And then over here on this side, the parsnips are starting to pop through. Those take about 21 days to germinate. And so here we have the Bonnie hybrid. That's their best cabbage row here, and then we've got Swiss chard, and then we're starting our early Jersey Wakefield cabbages, and and then we've got our green hornet broccoli here, green magic broccoli, and then our cauliflowers that'll go in here. And then all this, I'm just waiting for these peppers. This is Thai peppers. This is bell peppers. The peppers are just loaded now that the heat, those 100+ degree days have subsided. man, everything is flowering and it's back into production again. So we'll be enjoying peppers and tomatoes well into fall. And then we come over here and come over to our veggie garden over here. As you can see, there's kind of an inner and outer ring. The outer ring is bush beans. They're multicolored, like green, yellow, and purple. And then the inner ring is sugar snap peas. And then what will happen is, as those come up, I'll put a trellis, a bamboo stake in each corner, and make a trellis and let those climb up. And then the bush beans will just bush out. And then over here in this plot, in this veggie garden, we've got a variety of beets planted here. We planted those yesterday. And we'll keep you up to date on those. Everything should start to germinate fairly quickly because it's still pretty warm. And then this guy here is our veggie. This was these are 2 Cherokee purples that are left over from that super summer heat. And so what I've done is I pruned them down, fertilized them really well, re-staked them, stuff like that. And so hopefully we can get a tomato or 2 off of them. We might be able to salvage them. And then over here, this basil has just done an amazing job this summer. We have had no problems with this basil in this veggie garden. It's just done magnificent. And how every one of these beds are built is underneath we've used hugelkultur. So we've dug a pit, and then we've put logs and mulch and all kinds of stuff under it. So those logs, as those logs begin to deteriorate, that's going to become water batteries, and that's going to soak up water and nutrients. And then during the drought times in late summer, this is the kind of action that you can expect. Like, this basil has not wilted once in 100 plus degree weather. And I owe that to building this bed using the hugelkultur methods. And then every one of these beds also has a 1 foot by 2 foot deep trench that goes all around them, and then it's filled with mulch. And so the idea there is when it rains, the rainwater fills those up, and the mulch soaks up the water, creating water batteries, and then it just transfers all back to the bed. And then this is our fall onion bed here. You can see we've got a little guy sprouting up there. It's been about a week since I planted the fall onions, and so we're going to have a variety: Spanish, white, purple onions, yellow onions. So we're going to have a really nice crop of onions there. And then this here is just kind of an experiment. So this whole area was covered in sweet potatoes, but because the ground was so hard packed, it really didn't make sweet potatoes. It made extremely long sweet potato roots that didn't really form sweet potatoes. We got a handful of sweet potatoes out of it. So what I did was I created slips off of those vines, and so I'm testing out to see if we can get any sweet potatoes before frost, because we're still pretty warm. We're going to be pretty warm all the way to the end of October. So these have been in since end of July, beginning of August. So hopefully we'll see something there. And then as we make our way around here, earlier this summer we had zucchinis, we had pumpkins, we had patty pan squashes, we had butternut squashes. I mean, it was so abundant out here with all the squashes and everything. And so as we're transitioning, I may do a couple plants of the patty pan squashes, because we really love those, and those are a 50-day squash, so we've got plenty of time to possibly get some more squashes. And these are like a green bean. So this is the 1,500-year-old cave bean that we purchased from Baker Creek Seed Co. Very vigorous vining bean, and I'll let you know how those work out. But you can see we're starting to get the flowers and stuff. So it's supposed to be a pretty prolific producer. And so just to kind of get back to some of the hugel culture, in that this is the kind of wood that's under those, that is in the hugel culture, you know. So yeah, so I built all that, and then we've got the straw just for when we do seedlings, and if it was going to be like extremely hot, then we could like kind of mulch the soil with some straw, and that helps keep the temperature of the soil and everything down. And so, but yeah, all this area was like all the vining crops, squashes, pumpkins, lemon cucumbers, you know, all that has since burnt up in the 100+ degree weather. So, but yeah, we got some yarrow here, and you could see where the patty pan squashes were planted over here, and it was kind of crowding out my yarrow and didn't really let it bloom. It didn't really bloom very well. So maybe next year we'll get a lot better bloom. Some more echinacea, bee balm. That's a plum tree over there, and then a sour cherry tree over here. And then we've got some blueberries. But this blueberry, the rodents and rabbits, you can see that the leaves are missing as far as tall as they can stand. A little blueberry patch over here, so we're going to create kind of a triad of blueberries over here and over here. That's the plan. And so yeah, the varmints got all the blueberries. We had like a ton of blueberries, and the day before we go out to pick them, every one of them were gone. But anyways, that's everything that we're doing for the fall this year. Our plan is to, on this main bed, it will become a hoop house once the temperature starts falling. Last year we had fresh greens and lettuces all the way up to December, and then we had a pretty big winter storm move in with a lot of really strong winds, and it blew the hoop house all apart and froze most of everything except for the tatsoi. And so we had tatsoi going into January and February, and then into March as well. So this year we're going to do little things differently. We're going to make a hinging hoop lid, and then we'll take you all on that adventure as well. But anyways, that's all that we've got for today, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.